Let's find you a better deal. Find your local Trusted Choice independent agent at trustedchoice.com. That's trustedchoice.com.
Good evening. You're listening to everybody's favorite radio station, AM 1080 KSCO Santa Cruz. I'm Chris Spencer. It's about 6 minutes past 7 p.m. I got your weather and traffic for this evening. Let's see here. For tonight, we are going to have some patchy fog after 11 p.m., otherwise increasing clouds with a low around 53. Wednesday, fog in the morning, cloudy through the mid-morning, some gradual clearing in the afternoon, a high around 72 coast side, mid-70s to mid-80s inland. On your Monterey Bay boaters forecast, west winds 5 to 15 knots, wind waves 1 to 3 feet, with a northwest swell 4 to 6 feet at 10 seconds. Patchy fog after midnight out there on the bay. Let's see here. Traffic seems to be running good out there right now. 59 degrees here at KSCO. Up next, Off the Lip Radio Show.
Opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are not necessarily those of KSCO Radio, its staff, management, or advertisers. If something is said with which you disagree, please call us during the program in order to help us balance comment.
Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip, the show about surfing and skateboarding. If you'd like to join the show tonight, give us a call at 831-479-1080. That's 831-479-1080. And now, here are your hosts for tonight's program, Neil Perlberg and Terry Campion.
Good evening and welcome to Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO, broadcasting from Santa Cruz, California, the surf and skate capital of the world. Tonight, I'm dedicating this show because he's on the show tonight. He's perfect guest for me to be able to handle the show tonight and for TC. And we're stoked to have him in the show. Before we start off, TC, you've got the Pleasure Point Fair coming up.
Yes, we do.
On
first I just got to say, I am so sorry about Rusty. And Rusty was our buddy, and a legendary surf dog.
He was a legendary surf dog.
I mean, Rusty, toes on the nose. No fear at all.
No, he'd ride 6 or 7. I'd be riding 6 or 7 foot waves with him at Pleasure Point. Now, 6 or 7 foot waves for him is like Mavericks.
That's like triple dog overhead.
Triple dog overhead.
And
Great Dane overhead.
What's interesting about Rusty, and you told me this, he didn't even like the water, right?
No, he hated it.
Yeah, but he went surfing because he loved you, man.
That's right.
Yeah, so
That's right.
He wasn't out there because he wanted to go surfing.
No, he didn't want to go. But I didn't force him to go, but he'd get on the board and come out there with me, and he
trusted you, man. He trusted you.
Yeah, it was unconditional love.
Well, he was a good buddy here in the studio, so this one's to Rusty. I think that's good.
Yeah.
As far as next weekend, yes, it is the Pleasure Point Street Fair, the second annual. It's a great event for the community. The Boardroom is also hosting their, I believe it's the 6th annual skateboard contest. It's a $1,500 cash prize. First place. It's the biggest skateboard contest in the area. If you haven't been to the Pleasure Point Street Fair, by all means, great food, beer garden, stuff for the entire family, music. They block off Portola Avenue between 41st and 38th Avenue. So come on down next weekend.
And right now, going to give a plug to Dave Nelly Nelson, because Dave Nelly Nelson, the surf photographer, has given me a lot of photographs for the show, like including Adam tonight. He's given us some photographs to give to the Surf Channel. I want to give a plug to Nelly, because Pono Hawaiian Grill tonight, downtown Santa Cruz, is his opening of his show of his magical surf photography. So if you don't want to listen to the radio show, you had enough of me and TC and Adam already.
Hey,
head down to Pono Grill and see some of Nelly's photography.
Nelly's a class act too.
He's a good guy.
He's always been supportive, I think, of the entire surfing community. How many photos do you think Nelly's taken of you, Adam?
Quite a bit.
Yeah,
it's probably taken a few of all of us.
Right, and I guess without further ado, Neil, should we introduce our guest?
Yeah. Adam Replogle's in the house. Adam, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
We really appreciate it.
Same time.
Excited and nervous? I don't really nervous.
It's funny, these big wave dudes get nervous on the radio. In fact, should we throw Ryan Augustine under the bus right now? Jeez.
Yeah, go get it to him.
Last week we had Ryan, 3rd place at Mavericks.
Yeah.
In my opinion, big wave surfers, if you get 3rd in Mavericks, you're a tough dude.
Yeah.
And he, at the radio station on the other night, he sat on the shoulder over here and was scared to paddle into the peak.
Well,
Yeah, he was carrying in the corner.
Adam, you're here at the peak. Nice job, man. You can drop in any time now.
well, I don't hang out where Ryan hangs out on the big peaks.
You did, though.
So-
Yeah, go ahead, Neil. Let's start this off with him.
I want to know where surfing started for you. This started with your kids now, your kids are in the junior lifeguard program. That kind of where it started for you, didn't it?
Correct. Yeah, I started in the junior lifeguard
How many
program.
kids is that? How many surfers is that program launched?
Well, quite a few. It'd be like saying how many surfers did Richard Schmidt teach?
Right,
the
right.
program teaches a lot of surfers.
And you
A lot
got
of
your
women.
kids in there right now too.
Yeah, for sure.
And surfing started for you. I think if I recall, around 9 years old.
Yeah.
Was it Matt
Early-
Matt Lansing down
Yeah,
there in Capitola?
Exactly. Yeah, myself, Matt Lansing, my friend Morgan Larson. Larson Sales, a good friend of ours as well.
Right.
But
The
I was
famous
part
Morgan Larson,
of, famous Morgan Larson. But I was-
world-class sailor.
Yeah, I was part of like a Three Stooges little group, and by no means was the best surfer. There was Matt and Morgan were both way far advanced.
Well, what's interesting is
I was at the
I met you 8 years old.
yeah.
You keeping your surfboard in my backyard.
Yeah, I remember.
I kicked them out
remember.
because they left their booties around all the time. I had to give them, the landlord had to boot them out.
No.
But I agree with you. Matt Lansing was a fantastic surfer at that age point in your life.
Oh, yeah, by far. A couple guys, but my early days, I remember Matt. He was ambidextrous too. He can skateboard goofy foot, surf regular foot, but was doing man turns at a really young age. Yeah.
And you started in Capitola. When did you
Right.
did you progress to the west side of Santa Cruz?
Well, that was a full evolution. But I mean, I remember getting to the hook and thinking the hook was like, the hook's pretty localized.
Right.
At the time, it was pretty challenging to get down to the hook. It wasn't really as accessible as it is now. And so the boys who surfed it had it pretty locked down.
Who were? Which one? Which guy are you talking about?
Well, there was a handful of guys. I remember this guy Mike.
Well, I think at that point in your life, you hooked up with the three Marks, as I like to call them. The Mark Goen, Mark Machado, and
that's-
Mark Tinkus.
Yeah, for sure. That was the group that I hung around with.
Right.
For sure. And they were at Pleasure Point, and a lot of them did surf the hook, but the hook definitely had their own crew of people. I remember Tony Roberts surfed the hook really well, Bobby Ledesma.
Chris Green.
Chris Green surfed the hook really, really well. Chris Gallagher, my buddy, surfed it really well. But it is a really easy wave to surf, and, unfortunately, when they put the steps there in the big parking lot, sort of,
Over.
well, it just allowed a lot more people to access it,
So-
which is nice.
Right. So talk to us about Chris Gallagher, because you and he were the only guys to make it to the WCT, correct?
Yeah, up until Nat.
Right, up until Nat.
Right.
So tell us about Chris and how he's doing.
Chris was a good friend of mine from Pleasure Point, just like with Terry, and he was from a big surfing family, married into a big surfing family. The whole Gallagher clan was associated with and related to the Van Dykes, and Pleasure Point at that time had a big surfing scene, and I was influenced by all those families, and each street sort of had their different family and different clique. I hung out towards the top of the point, where on the bottom end of the point, the streets 38th, 37th, those were big fields in the back there, and stuff like that. And that's where all the families-
Who are you looking at, and who are you admiring to get the style that you have? Because TC mentioned it tonight. You're one of the best stylish surfers out there.
Well, I'll just inject right here. In my opinion, Adam, I'm not going to, I mean this 100%, has the best style of any surfer to ever come out of Santa Cruz. And I say that with all honesty. I mean, your hands are in the perfect spot. You seem to be in control all times.
Well, that's
you make
awesome.
speed where nobody makes speed. And I'm a fan and I'm a friend, but I'm just saying truthfully. And if somebody they can call in and ask.
And you can call if you want to call in tonight.
Yeah.
The phone number is 831-479-1080.
I challenge somebody to tell me who they think is the most stylish surfer in Santa Cruz, and my vote is Adam Replogle. Thank
He's
you
not
very
liking
much.
that. He's not digging it.
Oh, I'm just nervous saying that.
That's okay.
I'm
But-
hearing that. But, Peter Mel was a big influence with my group. He was by far above and beyond as far as technique and talent. This kid, Roger Maris, which is Chad Underhill's father. Roger was a phenomenal
Great
surfer.
surfer.
Squirrely guy, phenomenal surfer. A majority of the guys that were really good surfers were a little squirrely.
Tell us about the Bud Tour, because you ended up on the Bud Tour, correct?
Yeah,
What was the Bud Tour?
Bud Tour was just a domestic tour done here in this, the East Coast and West Coast in Hawaii.
Okay.
And it was just a opportunity for us to have a local pro tour. they don't have it anymore. I'm surprised. They should have one.
It was well organized, right?
Well organized, yeah. Ian Cairns, the guy that runs a lot of the big surfing events, put it on.
It was great for somebody who didn't have tour sponsorship, but was hoping to break into it.
Yeah,
There's
an opportunity there for somebody who wants to run professional events, I think, because a small wave scale surfing tour would be great.
I look at like a Joey Baran.
Yeah.
Who I think he won that tour once, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he helped start it too.
Yeah, maybe so. But it really helped, those
it's
kind of
like
guys.
John Parmenter and
Bud Lamas.
Bud Lamas, just like Dino Andino, Jim Hogan, just all over your stuff, like you'd be lucky Frohoff, Ted Robinson, all those names.
You just made a list of classic California surfers who will have their day. They'll be recognized. But that group of people is a big part of California surfing that you just named.
Yeah, well, you look at now surfers like Nate Yeomans or the whole the Gadauskas family. They're not on the tour; they're competing on a QS tour around the world. But we don't get to see them. It'd be awesome to see them here and be like big events in California and Hawaii, the East Coast that allow them the benefits of traveling close to home and making good money.
Maybe like a tour of Coldwater type events, because the Coldwater's been downgraded to.
O'Neill's wanted to back some events like that.
Yeah, a little tour. You could split it up and make a great reality show if someone's listening down there.
How many years were you on the WQS?
Between 94 and 98.
And the WQS for our audience.
I think it was 5 or 6 years I was on the QS, and I only qualified for the World Tour 1 year. I qualified in 97 and surfed it in 98.
So you've
done by 99.
You challenged yourself you waited patiently for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it was forcefully patient.
Hey, did you ever want to call it quits?
Yeah, a lot.
You did?
Yeah.
What kept you going?
Regret, not wanting to look back and go, God, that was the opportunity. I should have just stuck it out,
Right.
Things
You got some amazing trips during that time for yourself.
I got beautiful trips, and
that was one of my questions I wanted to ask you is what was your favorite part of that traveling competitive surf time? What was the favorite contest or place you went?
Going to South Africa.
That comes up a lot.
Yeah, I was going there because the time that we would go there, we would go to Reunion Island, which is this small island off the east coast of South Africa, and it's got beautiful waves.
You competed at J-Bay.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I did all right there.
Came in 5th.
Yeah, I came in 5th.
That's
a humble guy.
Well, I mean, we have 3 surfers from Santa Cruz, but we have some success with Rich Schmidt and a few people. But
Richard killed it.
Yeah, but we have 3 people, and you being one of them, that, in my opinion, have rose to the highest ranks of competitive surfing.
Right.
And we're a big surf town to have only 3.
Okay, before we go to commercial, I got to talk to Strider. Strider from Santa Cruz. Good evening. How are you?
You're the best surfer. Uncle Adam is the best surfer, the best stylish surfer in the world.
There you have it.
Downright he is.
Strider, awesome phone call.
That's my nephew Ryder.
Ryder.
Oh, it's Ryder.
Oh yeah, that's Ryder Barton right there. Thanks, Ryder.
Thanks, Ryder, for calling, letting us know. We appreciate it.
Would you give him a cupcake or something for that?
Thanks, buddy. See you later.
Hey, see,
Okay.
I told you. It's the truth.
Before we go to commercial, just want to let you know that this portion of the show is brought to you by Dogmatic Arts. You can see photos of Adam Replogle, Barney, Brat Boy, Rocky, Homer, all of them down there in Capitola at the Dogmatic Arts Studio, which is in the Lighthouse Building in Capitola. As I said, stop in and check him out and see Patrick. He will feed you as well, 477-2062. This is the Off the Lip Radio Rusty Show on KSCO. We'll be right back after this commercial. Thinking of a vacation in Santa Cruz? Then contact Beach Nest Vacation Rentals at 831-722-0888 to make your reservation. The very best local vacation management company with their staff will take care of the tiniest of details to better your memorable Monterey Bay holiday. They are pet-friendly with a choice of homes on or close to the beach in Santa Cruz and the Central Coast. For further information, go to beachnest.com or follow them on Facebook.
Aloha Island Grill, corner Portola Drive and 17th Avenue, featuring mouth-watering plate lunch. We're proud to celebrate 10 years of serving the Santa Cruz community. And we'd like to send a shout-out to Neil and TC for doing a great job for over a year here with their Off the Lip radio show. We're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. till 9 p.m. Visit us on the web at alohaislandgrill.com. Like us on Facebook. For to-go orders, call 479-3299. Congratulations once again to Neil and TC for 1 year on the air. Aloha Island Grill is a proud member of Think Local First.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say.
Hi, this is Steve Pereira, the beach guy at Bailey Properties in Santa Cruz, California. If you're looking for a beach home or a coastal property, give us a call at 831-818-7064, or you can call my wife Diane at 831-818-5939, or drop in on our website at lifesabeach.com and check out all the inventory in all price ranges. We've been selling beach properties since 1982. We're here to help you. Give us a call today.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Rusty Show this evening here on KSCO. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We are streaming live right now on the surfchannel.com. This portion of the show, this is the trivia portion of the show, which is brought to you by Sand Dollar Ding Repair. Felix, if your board needs to get fixed, if it's freaked out, messed up, I almost said it. If it's effed up, needs repair, if you want it back floating again, if you want it to surf on your board again and it's not working right now, go see Felix. The phone number is, 722-4060.
He's on Facebook.
Tonight, what are you giving away for? Yeah, he's on Facebook. What are you giving away tonight?
Something about Felix, too, which I think is really important. He restores surfboards beautifully. So if you got a family heirloom or a board that you think is valuable, he can restore those things. He's the guy. And he's shaping
boards now. So he's shaping boards.
He does it all. The guy's a jack of all trades.
What are you giving away? What are you giving away tonight?
Today, you're going to get to pick out a skate deck at the Santa Cruz boardroom.
A brand new skate deck at Santa Cruz boardroom.
Yeah. And it's like I say every time, you can't get the $100 signed Tony Alva board, but get a regular board.
And the phone number to call in tonight for the skateboard, if you have get the right answer, 477. What's the phone number here, TC? 1080. 479. I'm sorry. My dog died. My brain's parked.
I noticed you're wearing the Dog Jam t-shirt
Dog
tonight.
Jam t-shirt, yes.
Yeah, Rusty.
479-1080 is the phone number for this question. I found Rusty in a box outside which fast food restaurant? Was it McDonald's, Burger King, or Kentucky Fried Chicken?
For real.
Somebody out here knows the answer to that because it's well known. McDonald's, Burger King, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Where did I find Rusty? Brand new skate deck. If you get the prize, if you win, 479-1080 is the phone number.
I like that question. And also on back to Dog Jam, I saw you do a headstand on your board with Rusty on the nose.
That's right.
That day.
That's right. Rusty,
I saw it.
Rusty, he'd look back at me and go, "What the hell are you doing?"
And I saw you one time fall and land on him.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that either. You know what? Don't think about dogs, man. Unconditional love, right, Adam?
Yeah.
You know, our guest in studio tonight is the one and only Adam Replogle, one of the true gentlemen of the sport of surfing. People know the answer to that trivia question. Oh my God, phone's ringing. One of the true gentlemen to come out of from the sport of surfing here in Santa Cruz County. And I'd like to ask you, Adam, the surfer who you looked up to when you were growing up was?
This guy, Mark Machado. Nice.
Okay.
Good surfer right on the street that I hung out, right across the street from Terry's.
Yeah, he was my neighbor.
We hung out this little street, but he was a shredder, and he was connected with the, quote unquote, like the surf scene, the competitive pro surf scene.
Right.
And he was like 1 degree away. It would be like the kids seeing Nat now.
Right.
Basically.
So Machado was awesome. We talk about him just really quick for 1 second. He rode unconventional Shane Horan-inspired surfboards, boomerang single fins with super wide tails, and he destroyed it.
Yeah, he surfed good.
Yeah, and really, really good influence.
So now he's a little more accustomed and he's not so nervous. Each week we try and delve into our guests, right? So you must have a question for him because I've got one right here.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to delve into his head, but I have a question about ghost trees.
Yeah.
What happened to ghost trees?
Done. It's done. I mean, for me, it is. It's
right, no, but as a spot. I mean,
you can still paddle in the spot if you want to.
You can't tow in. We know that.
Tow in, but you can still paddle in the spot. But if you've noticed, we've haven't had that big of winters lately. And usually it's got to be, exceeding, 12, 15 feet at 20 seconds, maybe.
Is that spot as terrifying as it looks? Because I have not surfed it.
Oh, yeah, it's way terrifying. It's totally terrifying.
And for people who don't know, it's in southern Monterey Bay. Big wave surf spot.
But you'd be surprised, after you take a terrible wipe out there, you do go into deep water. Unlike, say, Mavericks, where you might go over, 2 or 3 waves will hit you, then you go into the rocks.
Right, and we lost Pete Davy out there.
Yes, we did.
And you were out that day.
Yeah, I was there. I saw him on the beach that day.
Oh my gosh! And he was pushing in that deep water area.
Yeah, they found him, I believe, in the cove area. The coves inside of the breaking waves there.
What a great guy he was.
Oh, he was a classic guy. He was a Neanderthal of a man, massive man, but a huge heart too.
When he was younger, talking about Pete, all of his shots were wipeout shots. He was the king of the wipeouts.
Yeah, he is a total. Some looked like a uncontrollable, like massive big race car driver. Like the thing gets bowling down the road, and then he would have some crazy big barrels, but a lot of big wipeouts.
He ruled Fuller's.
Yeah, he was
Fuller's. Yeah, he was. That's a secret spot no one wants to talk about. Let's talk about something else.
Hang on one second. It's my turn.
Okay.
Shane Skelton of O'Neill called you the bloodhound of surfing. The bloodhound of surfing, and that you can sniff out the best waves better than anybody. What's your technique for that? Are you going to tell us how you do that? You said you can find him better than anybody.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think we're all sort of reading the same from the same sort of book. That when you live in a bay, it's essentially like living in an island, and so you figure out what the wind is doing and what the swell direction is doing on any given day. You should be able to find pretty good surf with
the best wave to make it the best wave. And he's got insane.
When it comes to getting there, that's one thing.
Yeah,
but
once
then
he catches
finally being there to be in position, you got to watch and understand the wave.
He can put himself into the best part of the wave.
Yeah, a little.
Now you don't like competing, right? You didn't like competing, correct?
Yeah, I loved competing. I can't say, and I'm still pretty competitive. And I'm competitive when I drive down the street. So.
Anxiety when you compete?
Oh my God, to say the least. Yeah, it gives me.
How did you make it through to the? How did you make it to the final and obviously win the cold water?
I had let go at that point.
Oh, you let it?
I let go. I think I won the Cold Water Classic in 2002.
Right.
And I was off the tour by '98. So by that time, I'd been removed maybe 4 years from competition. So it was. You
had nothing to lose.
Nothing at all to lose, and I just would you put back that it's like you get the eye of a tiger, that you
right.
get rockied out, and you get pissed off, right? And it's really motivating to have that type of motivation. It's usually for me it was anger. I would get really it would frustrate me, and things would go wrong, and I'd just get myself so wound up, and for some reason I don't know I could perform. And then and if I was really calm and sort of just my nerves, and next thing you know, diarrhea, seriously,
hopefully not in the wetsuit.
But one of my daughters has done that a couple times.
Oh man.
But it really makes me nervous even to be a part and around surfing competitions, because just hearing the restraints. Usually it's 20 minutes. You got to go out and perform, and it's like and now and go out and do it. I like to think I could do that between now and 2:30.
Right.
Give me that amount of time, and I think I can play a pretty good tune. But to force me to play a good tune like right now in this 20 minutes is. To the best of your ability that you feel good about.
Right.
If you're sort of into what you're doing, that 20 minutes can just seem like 2 seconds. Next thing you know, you're pissed off.
You didn't catch a wave.
Didn't catch a wave, or you did catch a wave, and because you weren't able to relax.
How did you feel after you won it?
Not as happy as I thought I was going to feel.
Really?
Well, yeah, because it's only. The stoke of winning only lasts that ego-based stoke only lasted a little bit. I was like,
how long did it last for?
Just rolled a couple and then it was over.
The next day,
it was fun. I was with my wife now, Janae, and she was there for that, so that was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun to do in front of our crowd here locally. My buddy Chris Gallagher had won it twice in a row. And so that was really motivating for me. The year that prior to me winning, I got second. So I was really motivated because I got second the year before.
How was the field when you in the contest that you won?
Oh, it was great. Like Rufo and Dino and I were in the finals together, like pulling leashes and just on the cliff, 2 foot on the cliff, just whoa, like just hate you guys, like really bad, like.
Well, any contest with Rufo at the lane
is just bad. And you know what? Dino, Kalohe's brother's dad, was just bad, really bad, like, and so good at it that, he rode a bigger board, had a wingspan of about 8 feet, and I'm this little guy, I just remember them being all over my shtick.
All over his shtick.
Wow, that is.
So let's talk about the Nelscott, because that was next. That was next for you.
Yeah.
Right. Who talked you into doing that?
Peter Mell. Well, I went up there with Peter Mell when we first surfed it the first time, and then after that, John Forrest put that event together, and then Alistair and I went on a run up there and won it 3 times in a row.
Is because you could point out the waves?
Well, yeah,
because you had a knack of finding the right waves.
I sit there and notice the pattern, right? There's a pattern. These waves come in, and there's a consistent pattern. Now, the reef doesn't change, only the pattern in which these waves come in. So if you sort of figure out the pattern, you can identify, okay, the second, third, fourth wave is better.
Do you feel you read waves different than anybody else?
No,
okay.
Not at all. No, I hang out with guys that I see this. They see the same stuff as I do. Like, I go with a guy that if you ever go surfing with, say Noe, Cluio, Kukui, the Noe here,
yeah.
or John Hunter, the guys that surf beach breaks really well and go surf. They can identify a good sandbar 200 or 300 yards away, 400 yards away. And go, I've been with Noe, and we've been at places, and he's like, "Hey, Adam, don't put your wetsuit on. We're gonna hike about probably like 20 minutes." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, but, hey, there's a sick right down there." And so there's people who identify that. Usually, the best guys who can identify it from the back of the wave, and that's really hard. Peter Mell's really good at that.
Okay, can you describe in your words how Nat Young is surfing right now?
Beyond. I mean. Exceeds any expectation, I thought, and think that he will be potentially going for a world title just by the way he's operating right now.
Okay. TC, what do you got?
Yeah, and you're at a point in your life, surfing's fun.
Totally.
And so how do you decide, I'm going to grab this Paradise board, or am I going to take out...
Imagine, I like analogies. So as soon as I get out of tune, say I'm out of tune in my surfing, I'm like, I've been surfing a lot, and I'm just not feeling it anymore. I will hop on that Paradise. Bud Freitas has got a board like this too. His sister, it's Caitlin's board. But you just go ride it, and it really gets you centered again. It really gets your bearing back on your board. It gets you thinking about the fundamentals of just catching the wave, standing up, feeling the momentum and the inertia of the wave going along, and just sort of getting the glide going again. I really like the glide.
Well, I think you just gave great advice to every surfer, because your stoke can't always be on full flame.
No. But when you start like mishitting, like say you're screwing up in an off the lip, if you start focusing on your catching the wave and your entry into the wave and you're standing up,
right,
you will then be out of this mind-body connection. You will be out of yourself. When that off the lip comes, it'll become second nature. You'll already have been in focus mode here. You're not going to be focusing anymore up there, So
okay.
Let's talk about Coletta.
Hang on 1 second. You're listening to the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO. If you want to call in tonight and speak to Adam, the phone number is 831-479-1080. We welcome your calls. We invite you to call in tonight. We have a great guest. I know people out there have questions for Adam and want to chat with him about it, but right now we got back to TC.
Oh, well,
Coletta.
Steve, we're talking about Steve Coletta. Legendary shaper, been in here Santa Cruz for a long time. Made a lot of boards for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's made quite a few boards for me. Great boards, tow boards, big wave boards, small boards, all kinds of boards. He makes everything from Ferraris to old men boards. He's got a great spectrum of boards.
You talk to him much?
Yeah, he's actually going to be making quite a few boards for our store coming up here, so it's going to be really, really cool to see.
Cool. I'm going to rattle off some names too. If you could just give me maybe a few words on these people. I'm going to start with. I did this with Vince Collier before. Remember TC?
Oh, good.
Let's start with Flea.
Passionate guy.
Rap boy.
Really funny.
Skinny.
A politician.
Ooh. Peter Mell.
Howard Cosell.
Barney.
A Together Picasso.
Josh Mulcoy.
Who is Mulcoy? Is Elmer Fudd.
Vince Collier.
Henry Kissinger, To the Dark Side.
And last one, Richard Schmidt.
Henry Kissinger.
This is Neil and TC with the Off the Lip Radio Show. In fact, I'm going to call it tonight the Off the Lip Rusty Show here on KSCO. We want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring the show. Without them, it wouldn't happen. I want to thank my engineer, Chris, tonight. And we will be right back after these commercial spots.
Hey, this is Susie from Flip Flop Shop Santa Cruz with a special offer for the Off the Lip Radio Show listeners. Now through April 15th, get 10% off when you mention the Off the Lip Radio Show and how much you love Neil and TC. We've got some great new styles and brands for spring, Sanook being one of them, happy, friendly, and fun. Check it out. We've listened to our customers. You guys have asked for arch support sandals. We got them, Bionic. You've also asked for larger sizes, now carrying 17 and selected brands and styles. Protect yourself with Sunny Sunbum Sunscreen. Flip Flop Shop Santa Cruz. We are located 1528 Pacific Avenue, downtown Santa Cruz. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, Off the Lip Radio, going nationwide. Neil, TC, want to put my support out there for you guys, and thank you all for supporting People's Coffee. I'm Kurt, the owner here. We're on the corner of 17th and Bromer in Live Oak Plaza. Wow, we just made 7 years, so we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We put out an amazing cup of coffee. If you haven't been down to check us out, take a moment. We don't disappoint. We care about your happiness. People's Coffee, corner of 17th and Bromer. We will not let you down.
Chill Out Cafe on 41st Avenue, Santa Cruz is not just a block from some of the world's best surf, but it is also where you can go relax and order the tastiest grub before and after your sesh. Plump burritos, fresh salads, sky-high sandwiches, and a superb selection of hot and cold drinks. They have something for you. Go to chilloutcafesantacruz.com to view their menu, and to place your order to go, call 831-477-0543. Chill Out Cafe, where they roll the fatties.
And we are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO. Right now in studio, we are just going to complete our diet program that TC and I know TC and I, you fell off the cliff, but little diet program, little diet contest I had with my most competitive person I know, next to Adam Replogle.
Congratulations.
You know, thank you very much. I actually got below 200 pounds. I went from 225 to 198 by doing it with the yoga, hot yoga, the healthy way, with Sherry Banchini is here tonight from the Healthy Way.
Nice job.
And with the Foodsmith, the food that you have from Foodsmith, which is unbelievable. I mean, it was like losing weight and being in paradise at the same time.
Those enchiladas. Oh, man, are they good.
Enchiladas, unbelievable. Those chicken wraps they got, delicious. I mean, you never starved. Weight was flopping off me. It was just disappearing.
As soon as you beat me so bad, I stopped going on a scale. So I don't know where I'm at now. I threw the white flag up.
You did?
Well, I kind of been drinking a few beers now, you know, so it's like...
But Sherry, we want to thank you because I know you have other commercials here on the KSCO. If you are here local in Santa Cruz and you want to get yourself in better shape, look better, feel better. I mean, I feel a lot lighter. We both did, TC.
Well, and the thing is, and I'm going to give Sherry some good props here. You walk in there, you're welcomed.
Yeah.
You have a fun staff.
Yeah, you're not judged.
You actually make weight loss fun.
Yeah.
And so anyone who's listening, and everybody, I mean, health is life. And if you're healthy, you'll live longer and you'll surf better.
Yep.
And so for this active community we live in, so maybe we should have her tell us where she's located.
Where are you located? Come on, Sherry, where are you located? But no idea. Come on, tell us.
Right.
How do we get a hold of you? How does someone get a hold of you?
All kinds of
Plus,
ways.
also, she's beautiful, too. I mean, you want to go see a beautiful woman while you're losing weight? You got to go see Sherry.
You always do stuff like that.
Oh, Rusty. There's some new lucky dog.
Rusty loved going in there. Rusty loved going in there. He did.
The Healthy Way is by Dominican Hospital, 3251 Mission Drive. You can find us on the Facebook, on the web at thehealthyway.us.
Okay. Phone number?
462-5900.
Right. Get in there and get some of the food. They got not only you're buying the food there, or the foodsmith will deliver the food to different spots all over the town. And what is he wanting here? What is Chris wanting? There we go. I think I got it right. Oh,
the most important thing
on. There we go.
is that we educate people. It's great to have the good food and it's great to have this and that, but America has not been educated. It's been the people that are selling us crappy food that are telling us what to eat.
Well, Adam still eating dinner. I think he's still eating Doritos and donuts. Are you still eating Doritos and donuts, Adam? Off
we're
that?
eating good. We went to a nutritionist this just like 4 or 5 months ago at the Palo Alto Medical Center. So I'm really curious to hear, what she has to offer, and curious to know if kids are being implemented into the system as well, because we could probably use some.
The males are going. I know the males are signing up. Kim and John Mel and coming to see you.
That's awesome. I was telling them all about it.
Yeah, they're going to sign
great.
up. But Adam, the food with the foodsmith, and just combined with what you're doing, telling us how to do it, having their what to eat from the foodsmith company. Is it myfoodsmith? Yes, myfoodsmith.com. Having that combination.
Well, it's
like
great.
You never went hungry. It was great.
Well, I think when I first met you, I called you Coach.
Yeah.
Because you have that sort of vibe, like you want to coach us to do this on our own.
Okay.
And I think just anyone with a little coaching can do just about anything.
So, Sherry, thank you for what you did for us.
Pleasure.
TC and I both a lot healthier, skinnier.
I think I cut about 16 pounds, I think, and it was all said and done.
And how long,
we have
TC?
to measure you guys up.
I think we did 6 weeks, right? Or
I
about
lost
7 weeks.
almost 30 pounds in 27 pounds. And
I got frustrated because it was competition and I was losing. So I'm like, I'm just going to eat this big old Subway sandwich and tell him to go to hell.
So anyway, thanks, Sherry. We appreciate you coming back to the studio, and we're stoked that we did it. So I'm going to get back to Adam. You listen to the Off the Radio Show on KSCO. In studio, our guest is the one and only Adam Replogle here tonight, and we are very honored to have him in the studio. Question for you. The greatest surfer you ever competed against was?
Kelly Slater.
When was that?
A couple of times.
Okay. Did you beat him?
No, I never. I beat him when we were amateurs, but never beat him when it really mattered.
Was that? Did your
Don't feel bad.
No,
not a lot of people have.
No, it was good. He actually said something pretty funny to me. He's like, "I'm going to send you to another nation," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Combination," which means I'm going to need a couple waves to beat him.
You're all, thanks, bro.
Yeah, but he's a good guy and a nice man.
And as a competitor, terrifying.
Yeah. Well, he just seems to be that much better, which allows him to be that much more confident.
Did your anxiety level go up when you were in the same heat as him when you were out there, or
I
did
don't
you just
remember
become
my
more
anxiety
competitive?
being as bad then as it got later. Just thinking about it now, I probably get really nervous about it.
Okay.
At the time, I don't think I was as nervous. I just looked at it maybe as another heat.
Right.
When you get rolling on those heats, not that I was winning a lot of them to get on a roll, but you just sort of let go of the results because there's going to be another contest, right? So you got to remember there's only one winner. You're going to lose a lot, so you get good at losing.
Well, and I compete on Friday nights, and if your head gets stuck on someone that's next to you or in front of you, you're losing already.
Well, that's just it. Surfing is so complicated anyway. Usually you're competing against yourself to be able to pull off your own strategy.
Correct.
And all the other people, you usually try to say, hey, I'm playing the waves, not the players. The players are going to get in the way. You just need to execute your plan and then try to forget about those guys.
Are you surfing now as well as you did back in in your heyday?
No, my body's a lot sore. My body's really sore.
And spending more time with Mackenzie and Presley, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I spend a lot of time with them. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I really enjoy that.
And the two girls, how old are they?
They are 10 and 8.
And which one of them surfs?
Mackenzie surfs.
And Presley's, what's she doing?
She does all kinds of stuff. She's a very, very outgoing. She's a pretty crazy little girl.
Now, have they gone back? Have they seen you gone back and seen movies of you surfing? And
I don't know. I think
boring.
Mackenzie has. I occasionally hear Mackenzie will go surfing without me, and my friends or the dads will tell me that out in the lineup she'll ask nearly everybody if she knows who her dad is.
Right. Really?
Yeah.
She's gonna pull rank.
Oh, and it's just embarrassing. I'm blushing right now thinking about it.
Speaking of movies, how many have you been in?
Oh, I don't know, a lot of movies. I mean, just because videos were so trendy at a certain point, it wasn't like a film. I was never in a quote unquote. Oh, I was. My buddy Tony Roberts, who was friends of ours, made films.
Right.
But a lot different than say the videos now that they're making.
Neil, this goes back. Adam actually was in a video wearing diapers.
Yeah.
Surfing Pleasure Point.
Yeah.
No.
And he weighed about 50 pounds.
Yeah, I was probably like 12 years old or something. My nickname was Dumpling. And I was really short. Like the same look here, real sort of, eyes and squinty face. And I probably weighed about the same, as shorter. And so I think it was my idea, but Tony would do skits in every one of his movies. If you look at all the old surf movies, it was a lot of skits, it was a lot of funny stuff. And that was one of the skits that we did.
What was it, in the movie just came out, not just the trailer came out, called Tattletales with Carl Boothman?
Okay.
You did that movie, talk about you were undressed in was it the wave that undressed you? Or maybe I think you were talking about your wetsuit came off.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. A wipeout, having them, the whole wetsuit blow open, pretty common.
West Side's movie, did you like that one? You played a pretty big role in that one.
I know, that guy owes me $500 in that movie. That guy ripped me.
He did?
Yeah, he did. Fully.
That's why nobody wants to talk
Josh,
about that
come
movie.
on, man. Give him the
that movie shocked me, to be honest with you. I was shocked. When that movie came out, I was like, whoa, this is going to go, whoa. It was like...
Too much information, maybe?
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, for me, there was a lot of stuff going on socially in my life and in the community, and I just thought right then that was going to make a major impact, and I was just wondering what type of impact it would make.
Was the message about violence on that movie, or was it about broken families?
Oh, it was a lot of both, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, a majority of us came from broken homes, and so those were the results. And sort of the time, too, in the late 70s, early 80s, pretty fun time.
How much fun did you have?
Well, I was really lucky that my group didn't have as much fun as, say, Terry's group,
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Yeah.
I gotta have questions, Terry, on this.
No, because
have you the guest on the show.
That generation, they had a lot of fun,
Right.
They definitely had a lot of fun. Where I was able to, my group saw groups that, maybe the group in between Terry and I.
Who was your group?
My group was Justin Burns, Matt Arthur, Jeff Pauline, Matt Lansing, Benji Jameson, guys like that.
I wonder if Dave from Santa Cruz is one of your group. Dave, you there?
Yeah, what up, Neil?
How you do? Oh, my. Nelly, how are you?
Yeah, Nelly.
We blew you up earlier, Nelly. Did you hear, Nelly? We blew you up earlier.
No, I didn't hear. It's super loud in here.
Pono, did we get the invite to come down there?
Yeah, I gave you the invite.
Thank you.
You're busy, man.
I know. So tell us about what's going on.
10 o'clock.
Tell us what's going on at Pono Island Grill, please.
Shoot, we got a little Hawaiian music down here. Our photo shows that. A lot of the boys are down here.
Okay, we better come down.
My friend just walked by and hit me in the stomach.
And he couldn't miss.
Nelly, why don't you hit Adam up with a good question?
Yeah, come on, Nelly. You got a question? Give us a question. Give us a question for Adam, please.
Is this Baggies?
Yeah, Nelly. What's up, Nelly?
Nice. Baggies. Okay, what's a good question? Well, I just heard you spouting out Benji Jameson and Seth Taylor, all those names.
Yeah, Seth, that's right. Seth
what's a
Taylor,
good
Mike
question?
Pitt, he was there too. Mike Pitt owns all those restaurants now.
Let's see, Adam, this is probably your biggest influence in your surfing from surfers that are from Santa Cruz.
Well, I mentioned one of them was Mark Machado. The person I think now, looking at that same question, the influence was the person next to me. That was Chris Gallagher. He would accomplish things, and that would motivate me. I don't know if it influenced me. It just motivated
I remember.
me. And then,
I remember him dragging you down to the beaches. Too,
Yeah.
like in to surf slops, to train.
Totally. He would. I mean, we'd surf
I was
terrible
psyched on
waves.
that.
People didn't think south swells hit the beaches, but he said they did, and he showed me they did. But Marcel Soros, he was a nightmare. He was a guy who was about 6'4", 6'3", wingspan of about 2 condors. He could catch 4 waves in a set, and he could make you cry out in the lineup. And so he was a good influence too, or motivator, I would say, because I really wanted to try to beat people who dominated me like that.
Hey, Nelly, thanks, man. We got to move along. We'll talk to you soon.
Right on, brother.
Hey, good luck,
Thanks,
buddy.
Nelly.
Good luck.
Have
Good
fun
luck.
tonight down at Pono. Later.
Before we go to commercial, this portion of the show is brought to you by Drug Free Solution. Offers a solution for heroin and opiate addicts. Their detox method is an app and takes only 3 days. You can then move on to a 9-month home program to cleanse addiction from your life physically, mentally, and emotionally. Learn more at drugfreesolution.com or follow them on Facebook. Neil, TC, Adam Replogle, Sherry Bianchini, Chris, my engineer. We'll be right back after these commercials. Santa Cruz's own beautiful De La Vega golf course offers you 18 or 9 holes and a lighted driving range that has 40 stalls, so you're almost guaranteed a spot. Check out their great deal. You can buy a county discount card and save each time you play. The card is just $50, and that lets you save around 25% of green fees for 1 year from the date of purchase. Head professional Tim Blaustalot and his staff invite you to come and play one of the finest golf courses in Northern California. For further information, go to delaviegagolf.com or book your tee time by calling 831-423-7214.
Hi, it's Julie.
And Simon with Toyota of Santa Cruz.
How are you guys tonight? Hey, let's keep this short and sweet. If you want to get the best deal on any Toyota, new or used, come to Toyota of Santa Cruz. And remember, our service department's open 7 days a week, so it's parts and our shuttle. So we will take care of you. Just come in and buy a car.
Come down and check out our certified pre-owned center. We have a huge selection, one of the largest selections of pre-owned cars in the Santa Cruz County. If you're looking for Tacomas, Prius, Camry, we have them. We have a huge selection. So one place to go, drive them all. We'll make it real easy for you. Come down, check us out.
If you don't want to get off the couch and drive down to the dealership, start shopping online at SantaCruzToyota.com. Then come and see me
or Simon,
and we'll take care of you. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Just kidding.
We are back with the Off the Lip Radio Show. Before we close, one question for Adam. Surfing's gotten a lot cleaner, better. Things have changed for the best. Do you think? I mean, the crowds in the lineup have grown, but how have things changed since those West Sided days? Has it gotten better?
Yeah.
Your kids can go surfing now.
Well, you know,
how do you feel about what's going on in today's world?
The big change is that there's a lot of women out there, and I think that's changed the way that men operate in the water. Some spots still are pretty all men, but I think people are open now to people riding other vehicles out there. Not so. Maybe people are being a lot more open-minded. You know,
Right.
Obviously there's still some stigmas against some things. Stand-up paddling is probably
Right.
an issue. Well, longboarding was a huge issue for a long time, but I also think that the biggest problem is that people think they were just born good surfers. You know, people forgot that they were once beginners and kooks. And so I think if you remembered how hard it was to be a beginner and a kook, if you see someone struggling, that you would give them some help and give them some advice. You know, if you were skiing one day, Neil, your first time skiing, and you were flailing down the mountain, I bet you a really good skier probably would say, hey, stand up, maybe try this, give you some small advice. They wouldn't like spray you, wax your car, beat it. Your first experience at skiing would just be, you'd be done. So I think that people now are starting to be a little more open to giving advice and helping people out in the water.
Well, or tolerant. You made a comment about Galley earlier, and it struck a chord with me because, in my opinion, Galley was one of the first surfers that trained to be a surfer.
Yeah,
and I look at like Nat Young. Nat Young trains to be a surfer, and success comes from that. And when you got on that trail with Galley, you had some of your most successful surfing years.
Right. And that's what, Joey Wolf is doing with a bunch of kids that, hang out around with Nat now, is they're training specifically for surfing.
Right.
As soon as you start training, you start eliminating a lot of other chances, chances to get hurt, chances to have fatigue. So you're cutting down the variables of luck. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of guys train to cut down on luck.
Well, it's interesting because I think anyone listening that wants to pursue a competitive surf lifestyle, the training is so important, and Sherry could chime in on this, and the diet
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, there's so much that it takes to be the best. And what you said about Galley is that, you know, Chris Gallagher showed us that he could be the best, and he tried and he worked hard for it.
Totally. And it trickled down. It's just really cool to see Nat's taking it to that next level.
He's making all of us proud. One other thing I wanted to talk about earlier, you mentioned in a quick little blurb at my shop, and I know you've been involved with Billabong for a long time. Why don't you give a little prop to your store?
Oh, right on. You know, and I've been working with Billabong right there, the Billabong retail store at the end of 41st and Portola there since the start. And, you know, we struggled for quite some time. This is sort of O'Neill country. So coming into O'Neill country was a challenge. And over a period of time, we were able to work in some really good people, management people, and get really good clientele. And the community has grown around us. And we're really fortunate to be there. And hopefully we'll be there for years to come.
And one quick more thing, and then we'll kind of phase out. You spent a lot of time in the O'Neill family.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
practically in the family.
Yeah.
Hard when you left and moved on with Billabong?
Yeah, it totally was. It was really hard. And I still see those people today and think, you know, what would have been different if I would have taken a, you know, left instead of a right. But, you know, looking at it now, I'm still actually somewhat working for them. O'Neill's owns the building in which we operate in, so we still pay them rent.
And when you see Pat O'Neill, it's all hugs?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. You know, we'll both give each other some bad breath. And
nice.
Okay, I want to thank Adam Replogle. Comes to the end of the show. TC, great job, man.
Thank you, Neil.
Sherry Gancini. And I want to thank Adam for coming on the show. I don't think it'd be the last time you'd be on the show. I think we're going to have you come back again. You're a true gentleman of the sport, and we want to thank you for being a class act, as Kelly Sorensen would say. And
I got to inject this too. Nobody called to say that you don't have the best style.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much.
Next week.
Oh, no one called. That's good.
That's right. Next week's show, we have Jeff Clark, who is the Mavericks pioneer, along with Griffin Guest, owner of Cartel Management, who are the new sponsor of the Mavericks Surf Contest.
Oh, cool.
And he's married to Marissa
Miller.
Marissa Miller.
Our famous supermodel from Santa Cruz.
That's right. So they'll be in studio next week. I also want to just say one shout out to my dear, beloved Rusty one more time. I need to get this recorded because I love you more than I love myself. So this is the Off the Lip Radio Show on KSCO. We'll be back next week with Jeff Clark and Griffin Guest. Thank you for listening. We know you had a choice. You chose us, and we really thank you. Good night from the bottom of our heart.
Good night.
Your source for news, sports, traffic, and weather.